Hello everyone, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and today we are talking about the NFL, which is season openers tonight. I already made a video about that. They're opening up. It's going to be the Texans versus the Chiefs. Very exciting. Little dose of normalcy for us all. But there's already controversy because the Texans and the Chiefs players are planning a demonstration tied to opposing racial injustice. And people are up in arms about that, and people have been posting a whole bunch of crazy stuff like, oh, the NFL and the team should fire them for this demonstration. They're just athletes. We don't care what they have to say. Yeah, so there's two parts to my response to that. One is the moral part, right, if you want to be a decent human being. And the other is just the legal part, the lawyering side of me, right? So, morally speaking, if you want to get mad at people because they're concerned and speaking out about their community getting killed, that is, it's a really strange thing to be mad about. And you probably want to take a good, hard look at yourself and say, why do I want these people to just accept their community being murdered? Why is that something I want? What in me allows me to think that I should be angry at someone for saying, hey, stop killing black people? Right? Come on. How did you get there? Are you going to next say, all lives matter? Yeah, they're not saying all lives don't matter. You knew that. Don't be I gotta watch my words here. Don't be a jerk, right? You knew they agree already that all lives matter, but they're saying, hey, it seems to us that you don't think black lives matter to the same extent, and that's really concerning to us, so we now have a movement to try to get you to value the lives of the members of the black community, right? Come on. What are you doing? This is what kind of person are you that you're posting all lives matter? What a maniac. I don't know what you're doing. But second, let's go over to the lawyering side of things. Let's put the moral aside because you don't come here for my moral thoughts. Nobody cares what I think about what's right and wrong. Legally speaking, the NFL's pretty much got their hands tied. There's a reason they've had to settle previous cases when they allegedly did things to people who engaged in protected activity, like, say, a very public opposition to police brutality against, certain races. It's illegal. So when someone opposes racial discrimination in the workplace, which I think is how we can characterize what this demonstration will be tonight, it's going to be players, so employees of the teams and of the NFL, not directly, but certainly directly employees of the teams, are going to be opposing racial discrimination. And that is protected under federal law, certainly, and in many cases it's also going to be protected under state and local law. So if, let's say, the NFL was to fire everyone who demonstrated, right? Blackball them all, say, hey, you demonstrated, we don't allow that, you're done here, you're out. I would, in a hot minute, take that retaliation claim, and I would look at it as a money-making machine for each and every one of those players, and it would just be a matter of time, in my opinion, before the NFL paid out of the nose for that particular stroke of idiocy. There's been discrimination laws and workplace sexual harassment laws for a long time, dating back to the 50s. But in the late 60s, I believe, they developed the retaliation provisions because they were afraid, hey, nobody's using these laws because everybody who opposes racial discrimination or sexual harassment or whatever, they always just get terminated. So nobody wants to bring cases, right? So they brought the retaliation provisions along. And if the company retaliates, if the company does something to you because you've opposed racial discrimination or reported racial discrimination, you have this claim for retaliation. It opens up a whole new class of damages, punitive damages, which are potentially very valuable. And if the NFL was to crack down or lean on or try to intimidate these players, try to get them not to have their demonstration, they would certainly be, in my opinion, running afoul of these anti-retaliation provisions. So, no, the NFL does not have, realistically speaking, a lot of options to stop the demonstration. I still want to know why you want them to stop the demonstration. I don't understand that. Demonstration seems good and valuable, and there's nothing inherently wrong with people taking a stand for what they think is right. So it's strange to me that you want to silence these players, but even if that's what you want, the NFL is probably not going to be able to do it because of the laws I just described. I hope that helps, and take that look at yourself. Might do you some good.